Hey guys, John T. Hickmet here. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to speak all about flexibility, balance, why it's so important in the pain relief process. I was going to speak about how to simplify this process for people in today's video. I was going to speak about how it needn't be so complex. You need to put the videos down and just start meditating. It's going to be uncomfortable no matter what, but you need to start to learn to be with that discomfort. That was going to be today's video. But for any of you that have been following my videos for a while or you're in my community, you know that I usually release these videos during the week. Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. This week I didn't. This week I'm releasing it on a Saturday. The reason I'm releasing this on a Saturday is because my microphone didn't seem to want to work and my phone ran out of storage, and for some reason when I was trying to delete videos, it still wasn't letting me record videos. So the technology just didn't want a technology. It didn't want to work. And so I couldn't release the video, but I was determined. I'm like, I have to every single week release something. So I decided to do it today on a Saturday. And this is why I've decided also to make today's video all about being flexible and being balanced, because this went against my plan. Usually for the videos, I somewhat plan what I'm going to say. You know, I don't go into too much detail, but I do a bit of a rough sketch of these are the things I want to say in the video, because I try my best not to leave anything out. This video I have not planned. This video, 5 minutes ago, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do a video today about why it's important to learn to be flexible in your life, why that matters in learning to get over pain. Because right now I've had to be flexible, not only in releasing this video on a Saturday, but in the fact that I have not planned what I'm going to say in this video, which I usually do. Why is that important? Prior to me ever going through my pain relief process, when I had chronic stomach pain, when I had chronic back pain, back in the day when I decided the reason my stomach would act up was because of food, the reason my back would act up was because I didn't do a stretch right, or I didn't do a movement right, or I had to change my mattress for the 10th time, whatever it was. Back in the day when I was still on that carousel, going to doctors, going to treatments, etc., unaware that the emotional components to my symptoms. Back in the day, I was someone quite rigid, unbeknownst to me. I was a perfectionist, I was a people pleaser, I was someone that liked to plan things. I was someone that could not be flexible. I was someone that needed to know where I was going before I was going there. I needed to make sure I was always a certain version of myself for people around me so that they liked me. I was a planner. I liked to be in control. Later, I found out in the pain relief process, the reason I like to be in control is in big ways the way that society raises us to always chase comfort, chase convenience, be a certain version of people around us all the time, always be civil, always be kind, don't let yourself go out of control. Also, some things to do with my upbringing taught me that I needed to contain myself to get love. I needed to be in control to get love. It's not the point of the video. The reasons why I needed to be in control could be unique to you, but I got into that place, and because I was regularly controlling my appearance for the outside world, not only physically, but just how I acted, and I was therefore bearing emotions, which eventually led to pain. Started the pain relief process. Learn I needed to acknowledge how I was feeling, which was a whole skill in itself. I had no idea how to acknowledge how I was feeling, and how to allow it to exist in the body regardless of the story. So I learned, okay, I'm afraid of my pain. Rather than worry about the fact that I'm fearing my pain, I'm going to notice how fear feels in the body. So learning to acknowledge how to feel fear was one thing. Learning how to just remove myself from the story, regardless of why I'm afraid. I'm just going to learn to feel this in the body. That was another skill. How do I feel fear in the body? And then learn how to actually let it exist in the body. That final skill was hard, because what you find when you learn to allow emotional energy to exist in the body is it doesn't give you the outcome that you want it to. We're used to, if we're making progress in a certain approach, we're used to progress being that we feel better, we feel more comfortable, we feel happier, we feel calmer. Whereas in this approach, when you do it correctly, when you allow yourself to feel fear in the body, an emotion in the body, it will do all kinds of things that are out of your control. It may make you shake. It may make you more afraid. It may make you suddenly cry. It may make you angry. It may lessen. It may make you feel calmer. That's a possibility as well. But the whole point is when you do this approach, when you allow emotional energy to exist in the body, what you're basically learning to do is how to embrace uncertainty. You're learning how to be okay with the fact that things are going to go out of control. That's very hard at first. It's what today's video was going to be about how it was going to be about encouraging you to just start to do that immediately because that skill can take time to learn. I digress. I learned to start to do that. It took months and months to really hone it in, have enough courage to allow things to just go out of control internally. Eventually, my body was a safe place to be. Eventually, I could let things go out of control in the body, safe in the knowledge that it can get as messy as it wants. My body is safe. I'm not going to explode. It's not going to last forever. It's not going to kill me. And then you start to also realize maybe the ways I'm operating in my everyday life need to change as well. Maybe I need to learn that when I'm out and about, not everyone has to like me. This is again for my pain relief process. Leave what doesn't apply for you and keep what does. For my pain relief process, I started to realize that maybe I don't need everyone to like me. Maybe I don't have to be so perfect all the time. I like going to the gym and I play the guitar and I sing. Maybe when I go to the gym, it doesn't always have to be a perfect session. Maybe just because I could lift that heavy weight last time, I don't have to lift it this time. Maybe just because when I sang and played guitar last time it sounded this way, it doesn't have to sound that way this time. And if I get upset about the fact that I don't sound the same as last time or I can't lift the same as last time, I'm going to be okay with feeling that emotion. Maybe it's okay that I'm going to make mistakes. Maybe it's okay that I'm not always going to feel like I'm the best parent. This isn't to me, but anyone watching this, I know a lot of people watching this probably have kids. Maybe it's going to be okay if I don't release the video on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I have to release it on a Saturday. Maybe it's going to be okay that I haven't planned what I'm going to say today. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to release it into the internet, into the world, and people are going to either like it or not like it or reject it. Learning to start to do that in so many areas of life. Maybe I'm going to go out and not plan what I'm going to eat. Maybe I'm just going to go out and just see what happens. Learning to do that for me personally in my pain relief process, super important. How to be more flexible. Maybe if I don't get to the meditation in the time that I usually do it, I'm just going to do it later in the day. Maybe I'm not even going to do it at all today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Some people watching this, that really applies. You know, a lot of people, the reason they find themselves in this approach is because they've probably read a John Sarno book and they resonate with being a perfectionist, a people pleaser, a high achiever, a do-gooder, someone that likes to plan, someone that likes to be in control. They resonate with that. Those books are so amazing because you read them, as I once did, and you go, wow, this is me. Hopefully this can help me get over my chronic pain because he's talking about who I am. I am the avatar. So if you're watching this, I'm assuming you're falling into one of those personality traits. And if you are, a decision that I made and I encourage other people to make at some point in this process is to learn to adjust the way that we're behaving in everyday life. Maybe it's going to be okay if I'm out of control in some way, if I make a mistake, if the day doesn't go the way I want it to, if I don't tick off all the things I had on my list, maybe that's going to be okay. Maybe I'm trying to think of all the different things that people throw at me. Maybe it's going to be okay, I'm going to be out and about and I'm going to feel a bit more anxious than I'm used to. Again, a lot of these behavioral changes become a lot easier to make when you start to do meditation and journaling regularly, when you start to acknowledge and allow how you're feeling in the body and let things be out of control and feel safe doing so. When you do that consistently, these behavior changes that I'm speaking about, learning to be more flexible with your life, learning to balance your life, become easier. So one tends to precede the other. Can you just make the decision to be more flexible and balance your life without doing the acknowledge and allowing? Perhaps. Like I'm not here to say that one has to happen before the other. I think it's a lot easier when you're meditating to make these decisions. And why they're important to do so is because the more you can start to operate in your everyday life with more flexibility, with more balance, the further you're teaching your nervous system, I'm okay if things are out of control. I'm okay if I make mistakes. I'm okay that I won't always get things perfect. I'm okay going out and, making a mistake. And when you teach the nervous system that, again, it just doesn't feel the need to give you pain anymore. In my community, the way that I teach the reason pain comes into our life is I'm quite metaphysical about it. I'm quite spiritual about it. I'm not mechanical about it, which I believe John Sarno was as well, because, even though he was a doctor and I'm sure he very much believed in the physical reality of things, he also recognized that, he was a pioneer in recognizing that people are repressing emotions, therefore they have pain, which is a very metaphysical theory. We can't see the energy of emotion existing in the body. We can feel it, but we can't see it. So you come to conclusions, particularly as a practitioner helping people through this, that there are quite spiritual reasons for pain coming into our life that are serving us. Pain's coming into our life because it knows it will stop us in our tracks. It knows we're too distracted by our life and who we think we are, and we're the good partner and the good son or the good, employee, whatever it is. We're too distracted by that we will never stop to actually start taking stock and making new decisions about our life. So pain comes into our life to say, hey, you need to learn to be with your anger and sadness. You need to learn to reconsider your work and how you're operating in everyday life, because this life of yours is transient. It's short. It doesn't matter in the way that you think it does. It's not actually so important to always be the good person you think you need to be. It's not always so important to be perfect. So I'm purposely going to give you pain to get you to rethink the way that you're operating in everyday life. And it knows, your mind and body, by the time pain has come into your life, it's because you have not been listening. You have not made the adjustments. I don't blame anyone for getting into pain. Some people think, it was my fault that this all happened in the first place. I think it is some part of the stages of our journeys in life, that a lot of us are raised to be a somebody. We're raised to believe that we need to come up with a purpose and have an identity. And not only were we raised that way, I think we enjoy doing that when we're a teenager in our 20s, 30s, however long that you're doing this for. We enjoy being the perfect employee and the perfect person. And we enjoy saying that I'm a person that enjoys this diet. I'm a vegan, I'm a carnivore, I'm a musician, I'm an artist. We enjoy having identity. I'm a good person, I'm a reliable person. We want to be part of collectives, communities. We like that. Pain comes into your life, at least what I've recognized, to help recognize that all of that is transient. We're none of those things, really. It can, in a heartbeat, just shift. You can just suddenly, I always say, one day of not eating and sleeping, and you're just an entirely different person. So a lot of us, who we think we are, just the well-slept, well-fed versions of us. Without any of that, we'd suddenly be an entirely different person. So I digress, I'm rambling. The pain relief process teaches you to acknowledge and allow how you're feeling, to embrace uncertainty, and how to start to make different decisions in your everyday life, how to learn to be more flexible, to learn to record a video without planning it on a day that you don't usually want to release it, and to be okay with it. To know that shit's going to go on. It's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. The garden isn't going to be perfect all the time. Sometimes you're going to try really hard at something and it's going to fail. You're going to get rejected. Pain comes into your life as this sort of spiritual teacher to show you, try as hard as you may to hold on to what you think is the ideal way of living. It's going to pass. You and everyone is not going to be here in 100 years, and it's not going to be important. The richest, most important, most loving people in 1763, who no one knows who they are. Maybe there was some famous person that was like, oh no, it was this philosopher. They were great. But no one thinks about them every day. Doesn't matter how important they felt in that moment. It's going to pass. Pain comes into your life, the way that I teach it, to help you really embrace the only inevitability that we know is that things are going to change. Learn to be more flexible. Learn that if you are meditating regularly, you needn't do it all the time. You can kind of take a day or two off if you need to sometimes. You won't always be the best parent. You won't always be the best friend. You can come and apologize for it and own up to it. At some point you realize that we don't really know enough about existence. None of us have things figured out. I don't have things figured out. Everything that I'm teaching here is something that worked for me. It's worked for people that I've helped through this. But like I've said earlier in the video, leave what doesn't work for you, keep what does. I don't have the answers. I have not figured things out. I just, I'm here to paint the picture of a journey of pain actually being something that's trying to help you get to a place. One of which, learn to be more flexible. If you're not someone that's meditated at all, learn to start to meditate, which is what today's video was going to be about. I'm taking pauses because I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say in this video that I haven't planned. Sometimes people put comments and they put comments below these videos, and they're amazing because it gives me something to say in another video. So please, if you have something that you've thought while watching this, even if it's like, shut up, John T, this is shit, write it and give me the reasons why it is, and then I'll do a video about it and we'll create a discussion. A big part of the reason I eventually created a community, because I was just doing one-on-ones for ages to get people through pain and to realize what it was trying to teach them. I started a community eventually because I recognized the fact that community is the most important thing to help keep people learning from one another, keep people accountable for one another, for people to really have other people ahead of the journey to learn from, to have people at the same place as you, to have people who are like slightly earlier on in the journey than you that you can feel good enough to help. So the community that I've set up, if you're not in it, if you're watching this on YouTube, it was set up with the intention of doing all those things and to help you with your decisions of becoming more flexible and balanced, because I don't know what it is for you. For me, I remember when I learned about healing, it was that I was doing too much meditation. I needed to learn to balance that out. I needed to learn to do a bit less, to take the weekends off, to prioritize going out and seeing my friends on the weekend. I needed to learn, for me, I needed to learn to not be as much of a perfectionist. I needed to learn that people won't always like me. I needed to learn it's okay if I don't always sound great on my guitar, if I can't always lift the amount in the gym. It's okay if sometimes my stomach acts up. It's not because I'm broken or because I'm back at square one. It's because I'm a normal person. Things are going to go wrong. I'm fallible. I'm going to age. I needed to learn to do that. For you watching this, it could be different. It could be that you haven't started meditating at all. You're not liking your job and you're not trying to be perfect and you're procrastinating too much. You need to learn to be more flexible and balanced with that. I started the community because I knew everyone was going to have their own unique set of complexities, and we needed to create discussion around it. We needed people to challenge one another and to come up with their stories, and we can all figure out a way for everyone to get through this process when it gets challenging. So that's the video. It's funny, I feel the need to constantly apologize for, me rambling. I guess that's what comes from not planning the video, but I'm being flexible. So here's a video that I haven't planned. Hopefully that has given you something to consider. Making a decision to be more flexible and balanced was an important part of my pain relief journey. It is for a lot of people, and it very much could be for you as well. Whatever that means for you, that's why I set up a community to help people discuss that out loud. Maybe it's about something with your relationship, something with your career, something with eating, something with how you're behaving in everyday life, expressing your needs, expressing boundaries to people, how to not be so rigid with your time schedule. It could be something, anything. Community is here to discuss it, to work through it with people that have been through it, people that can help you and discuss it as well. So thanks for watching. Please, if you have anything that's come up for you in this video that you'd like to share, leave a comment below. I really like it, even if, like I said, it's scrutinizing the video entirely. Any feedback is perfect. It helps create discussion. It helps me create more content. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. That helps me recognize that I'm doing a good job. And yeah, that is it. Anything else that I want to say? I think there was something else I wanted to say. It's funny, you keep thinking, oh, I'm going to stop the video, and then Chonti says something more. No. That is it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully see you soon.